Okay, we are live. Welcome back to another watch party. It is the Nets taking on the Chicago Bulls. Game number 66. Wow. I mean, the end of the season's going to come quicker than I could have anticipated, to be honest. The season is flying right by. We are playing, well, yeah, as I said, an important match against Chicago, who were sitting a couple places above us. Over the last 48 hours, a couple of important things have occurred. Namely, the Toronto-Philadelphia game yesterday, which resulted in a win for Toronto, which means that they now have an extra win over us. Only half a game ahead because they're on the same amount of losses and have played a game extra. But they are now above us in the standings, and Philadelphia are tied on 22 wins and 43 losses. So we are sitting equal fifth in the odds for that number one pick, but a loss today and a win for Philly, well, somewhere down the line would ensure that they go into the sixth spot. The Nets slot in at 5, and the Pelicans also won after we lost to the Cavaliers the other day, and that meant that they closed in another game on us, 4.5 games away from us now. So they play Orlando today, which is going to be an interesting sort of game because Orlando not in the best of form. They have had a pretty rough run since they lost, I think it was Franz Wagner. They've lost 6 of their last 7 games. And their only win coming against Milwaukee by a narrow 2 points. So they are sliding a little bit. And I think that may bode well for the Pelicans, who have definitely improved now on 18 wins on the season. So they're definitely getting better and better as the season wears on, and as their roster gets a little bit more healthy and some of those more inexperienced players get a few more reps in. But for the Nets, it is... hang on a second. Wait a minute. Yeah, but for the Nets today, I think the main priority, of course, is losing, because you had some good work done in the last 48 hours by the teams around you to ensure that you go a little bit further down in the draft position. But I don't think that's going to be on the Nets' mind at all. You can see the starting lineups. The Nets are back at full strength with D'Angelo Russell playing today. He was missing for the previous match against the Cavaliers. And in that game, we just completely fell off the face of the earth in the second half and got outscored by 16 points. We did get a nice 27 from Cam Thomas, who only turned the ball over once and had some pretty high usage. But after a really nice first half, we were up by 13 at the main break. The contributions dropped away drastically, and the shooting fell off. And basically just reverted to the mean. The Cavaliers did not shoot the ball well on, a couple of days ago on Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever it was. But they were able to get the big buckets late. Darius Garland, a main contributor, I think he had 18 in the fourth quarter, and that accounted for basically like 60% of his points. So, he was really imperative to the way they played. Jared Allen was huge, and Mobley the same, especially in the first half. But really, the main keys for the Nets in this game, they gave up a lot of offensive rebounds. The turnovers not too bad. The three-point shooting, of course, very much key. Because, yeah, the minute that dropped away, we surrendered the lead. And I don't think we played that awfully. The Cavaliers got some lucky breaks. I mean, namely the three-quarter time heave that cut the lead from 11 to 8 heading into the fourth quarter. That was a handy 3 points and a very handy bit of momentum to take heading into the fourth quarter, because, you know, the Cavaliers had closed it to 8 multiple times, and even further, I think they got it down to 7 or 6, and the Nets were able to remain stable after getting their largest lead in the third quarter. So, I think that was a real dampener. And in the fourth quarter, I mean, we just completely stopped. And that isn't remotely surprising, considering that happens or that's happened way too many times this year where we just completely fall away. Jalio, welcome to the stream, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Hope you are doing excellent. It is, as I said, a very big game today for especially Brooklyn. I mean, a loss would probably be a bit more detrimental. Believe it or not, on the 22nd of February, we trailed the Bulls by half a game. And we're half a game outside the play-in. We're now 5 games back of Chicago because they have gone and won 5 of their last 8. We have won 1 of our last 9. So things may sway back in the other direction because Chicago do have or have lost Josh Giddey since the last time we played them. They look drastically different. I think we've played 2 games against them. We won the first meeting, and I do remember that one vividly, actually. That was a game we hit only the 11 3-pointers, but we were shooting the ball very, very well, not turning the ball over. We got 32 out of Cam Thomas that game, and some great bench contribution as well. In that first meeting, they looked a lot stronger than what they are now. But it's pretty clear the trajectory of the ball club where they want to be as a franchise because they've been mid, the Chicago Bulls, for a long while. The last game we played against Chicago, though, we lost by 26. And it was just a gradual increase. It was all tied up at quarter time, but, it went from that to 6 at halftime and then 20 at three-quarter time, and it was game over. Giddey had a triple-double. Dosunmu, Levine, Vucevic all playing in that game, and Bazalis had 20 off the bench. So they had 5 players with 16 or more. Meanwhile, Brooklyn did not have a player score over 20, even though they had 6 in double figures. That was actually a game where Nic Whitehead hit 6 threes. But our team in that game was just disgusting. Schroeder, Tyrese Martin, Keon Johnson, Claxton, and Wilson. Now you look at it, and we've only got 1 starter from that game because we had no Cam Johnson, we had no Cam Thomas, we had no D'Lo, he wasn't there yet, and Zaire Williams was also not playing. So there's a lot of difference with the way this Nets roster makeup, currently is. So I'm interested to see how this team responds. Now, some interesting stats I did come across, courtesy of the Nets Twitter page. Zaire Williams, 1 of 1, or from January the 1st. I don't know why I read it as 1 of 1. Zaire's made the most threes on the team, and he's had 6 games this season with 4 or more made threes. 4 of those games have come in the last 9 matches. So Zaire is definitely letting the threes fly, and he's getting a mixed bag of results. I don't actually know what his percentages are on the year, but he's definitely probably shooting him at the best rate of his career. He's going at 33%, which isn't that great. But when you compare it to seasons gone by, he's never had a better shooting season from 3. So 33% is respectable. It actually forces the opposition to respect you as a perimeter threat. He's been putting up a career high amount of threes as well, 4.5 a game. So he'll definitely be a key to the match. But I mean, there's lots of keys to the match, but the main ones are pretty simple. Look after the ball, score your 3-pointers at a high clip, and get a ton of second chance points. It's really that simple. That's the way the Nets want to play. Tip-off has commenced, and the Nets win the jump ball. The Bulls starting Trey Jones out there with Bazalis, Coby White, Kevin Huerter, the former King, and Vucevic. Williams with an easy cut to the basket. I mean, there was a little bit of movement in the paint. I think a very effective screen was set there for the first basket of the game. And the Nets force a steal after getting the first bucket through Williams. Johnson takes it downhill and goes at Huerter. He missed the the bucket, but the Nets will get the reload, and Johnson, just a foot inside the 3-point line, sticks the deep two, and the Nets of the first 4 of the match. I just need to fix the brightness here because it's a little bit too bright. There we go. Vucevic's 3 is a brick. Claxton. Hand off to Russell. Steps back for a deep 2 as well. And it looks like we're liking the success of that early. Where did we get an extra point from? Was Cam Johnson's 2 actually a 3? Bezelis goes at the defender, which was Williams. And he did well to meet him at the bucket. And forces another stop. So the Nets of the first 7. Thomas is going to attack. Picks up his dribble. Out to Russell, who will go at Coby White and put one up with the left. Doesn't get the bounce. Claxton bats it straight to Coby White. And the Bulls get a stop. White's going to take it inside. The kick out to Bezelis. The open shooter in the corner is Trey Jones. And that 3 is off. So the Nets racking up a few early rebounds. They're not going to be too mad about that. Johnson will pass across to Cam Thomas, who moves inside. The Euro, the pocket pass, and Russell the reverse. And we're going to get a timeout early. 2 minutes into the game. The Bulls yet to score. The Nets have a quick 8. So beautiful start here by Brooklyn. So, well done, lads. Alrighty. If you are enjoying the stream so far, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're new. We'll be back for Nets Boston nice and early. Hopefully I actually wake up for it in a couple of days' time. But yeah, that will be a much earlier start. So make sure to tune in for that game. I don't know how we're going to cope against Boston, but we always seem to show up in those sorts of games. Why is the box score like that? So right now we've got a... How was that Cam Johnson bucket counted a 3? I have no idea, but I've put Cam Thomas in the box score and he started very well with 2 dimes early on and no turnovers as well. So the Nets getting all their players involved early. Claxton with a couple of assists alongside Cam Thomas. And if you're not assisting, you're scoring. And that's what we've seen so far today. The Bulls are 4 from the field. The Nets 4 of 6. So they'll be very happy with the results of their early game offense. So I feel like that's pretty important for Brooklyn to start games well. I mean, we don't play consistently in the best of times, but it's good to see like us getting off to a good start, even if this does slip away later in the game. Alrighty. So let's see if that point gets tacked on. That Cam Johnson 3, which I clearly thought was a 2. Yep, that point's been taken off. So it's 8-0 start there. Chicago are looking to still score the ball, which hasn't occurred yet in this game. Vucevic gets it down low. He probably had an open 2, but he had his back turned. He kicks it out to Bezelis, up top to Herter. He tries to lose Cam Johnson. Vucevic was open in the middle momentarily. Coby White's going to go at Williams. That's going to be a tough shot, but Coby White drains it and gives the Bulls their first bucket of the game 2.5 minutes into the match. So good start here by Coby White, who's gotten his team on the board. Thomas, guarded by Trey Jones, getting a fair bit of attention there. Is that going to matter? No! Beautiful pocket pass by CT. He's got 3 assists. He had 3 assists the whole game the other day. And already he's got 3 dimes to his name in 3 minutes. White. Dribble drive. Goes to Cam Johnson and skies over the top of the defender for 2. He's got the ability to score. D'Angelo in the corner. Bounces it into Thomas. It was a bad pass for him. And Bazelis runs onto it. Pocket pass. And Cam Johnson was unaware. And Kevin Huerter's going to score the easy layup. So, 10-6. The Bulls have responded well after that timeout was called a couple minutes in. Thomas with the drive in. Another beautiful feed. Cam has 4 dimes. Coby White over the top of Williams. It's a good contest. And it was always going to be a difficult shot. Claxton is going to look for Cam Thomas again, who's worked well with Claxton early in this one. He's guarded by Bazelis. Cross over the drive, the layup, and he beats him to the basket and scores again for 2. He's doing it all early on in this game. Vucevic across to Kevin Huerter. Knock away by Claxton. But the Bulls recover. Vucevic is doubled. Bazelis down the middle, the spin, and scores with the right. Had the mismatch and took the opportunity to attack it. 7:30 left in the opening quarter. The Nets up by 6. Thomas thinks about the 3. Gets to the baseline, a couple pump fakes, and he can't get the angle, and Huerter with the rebound. White, pressed, drive in, kick out to Jones in the corner, gets by Russell, easy layup with the left hand. So, Nets probably, well, they're shooting the ball well early on in this game, 7 of 10, but probably just need to show a little bit more care on the defensive end. Thomas takes it inside and was fouled by Bazelis going up, and it will be 2 free throws. Thomas is looking like an early candidate for a double-double here with the 4 assists already. A couple brilliant pocket passes into Nic Claxton. Recognizing the double team that's arriving. So 2 free throws for Cam Thomas, who's gotten very busy early in this game. He's never had more assists in a quarter in his career. 1 more assist would be a record on his part. He's got the 3 points as well. Looks like Julian Phillips is checking in for Chicago. And CT can't make the second free throw, so unlike him to leave points at the table at the line, Nets up by 5. Vucevic is open as the man in the middle here. Knock away. It went off Thomas's leg. He's going to end up with the steal. Was able to regain control of the ball after I thought it got away from him. Cam Johnson is adamant that you challenge it. And Geordie's going to challenge. So, an early call here. Let's have a look who that's gone off. It looks like it... Has it gone off Bazelis? Oh, it fucking has. Cam Johnson's suspicions were correct, and they will win that challenge. I mean, you might as well use the challenge if you've got it to burn. So, the Nets will do that, and they will win the challenge. Around the grounds, we've got a 9-point lead for Milwaukee. We've got a 7-point lead for Washington over Detroit, which I don't think anyone could have predicted beforehand. The Magic are beating the Pelicans, so that, of course, is the game we're going to be watching with a microscope, basically. Really want to see what's going on in this Wizards game. Middleton 12, Smart 12, Kispert 10, Poole 11. They're really getting good scoring output, and for the Pistons, 17 to Cade Cunningham on 15 shots. So they are not shooting the ball well. The Wizards, man, they're shooting 50% from the field, 45% from three, have had 19 free throws already. So that probably tells you all you need to know about how that game's panning out. The Magic Pelicans game, that is an interesting watch. Wagner with 8, Banchero with 7 early. And yeah, the Pelicans are looking fairly short-handed. But I think for their situation, they are actually probably as healthy as they'll get. And I did not know that the Pelicans now have Mo Bamba. So you learn something new every day. And the Lakers are also playing. They're losing by 7 to Milwaukee, even though Luka Doncic is 21 with 7 minutes left in the second. He could go nuclear today. But the Lakers haven't known how to play defense all match, apparently. With no Jackson Hayes available. No LeBron, no Hachimura. So their front court's getting a little bit of a test. All right, so the Nets will win this challenge. Okay. So the Nets will get the ball here. Halfway through this second quarter. First quarter. What am I even talking about? So Tyrese Martin into the ball game for the first time. That's the only move the Nets have made. Sending D'Angelo Russell to the bench. Thomas was tripped up by Bezelis, and that is his second personal. So the Nets will head into it again. Don't know how I'm yawning already. 5.5 minutes in. Claxton out to Thomas. Goes down middle. Claxton sets the screen, and he blew the reverse layup. It was uncontested. Oh my God. You won't get a lot easier of a look than that, and Vucevic is going to scoop one up and get fouled. So 6:03 remaining in the first quarter. We're going to get free throws here for Vucevic. This will be the first free throws here for Chicago. And Vucevic hits the first free throw. Vucevic misses number 2. Nets will get the board as we exceed the halfway point of the first quarter. Martin. Looks like he's going to handle the rock, and Cam Thomas is going to play a bit of off ball. He's now, well, was momentarily in a switch. Claxton in the middle now. The jab step, the spin move, the layup, and it's blown. The rebound was also blown by Chicago, and the Nets will have another crack at it. 7 to shoot. Johnson pulls up for 3 and isn't able to secure the 3 ball. Pat Williams is in the game. Chicago. Trey Jones fakes the pass. Back out to Kevin Huerter now, top of the key. Good defense by Williams, but they find the mismatch under the hoop. And it was Vucevic guarded by Tyrese Martin. Vucevic an easy layup at the basket, so don't know where Claxton was on that occasion. Williams splits defenders. The kick out to Martin. It's an open 3 in the corner. Splash. Nets haven't been a heavy three-point shooting team tonight, but feel like they've capitalized when they have had that chance. Vucevic has the size mismatch under the basket, and the Nets were trying to sort that one out, that they left an open three-point shooter, in this case Patrick Williams, and it's now a two-point game. Sharp and Wilson getting ready to check in for Brooklyn. Claxton back out to Cam Thomas above the break. To the corner, Cam Johnson has an open look, ready to trigger, and he hits. And Cam Thomas is 5 dimes in the quarter. Meanwhile, the Bulls respond quickly, and the Nets are going to call a timeout. So we'll have to wait for those substitutions to get introduced into the game. But it's been an entertaining start, I do feel like. The Bulls have improved offensively. They were 0 of 4 to start. They're now 8 of 13, so they've hit 8 of their last 9 shots, and Jordi Fernandez has definitely seen reason for a timeout to be called. Cam Thomas, 3 points, which isn't all that eye-catching, but I'll tell you what is eye-catching, the fact that he's got the 5 assists. He's not shooting the ball well, but he's facilitating excellently, and he hasn't turned the ball over yet, which is very, very satisfying, I'm going to say. Every single player who's seen court time today has scored, so we're getting a lot of good contribution, and that is why we are at 21 points now. But Pat Wills checked into the game for a minute, and he's instantly the Bulls' top scorer. We've got Coby White with 4. Vucevic got the 3. And he's been to the free throw line for a trip as well. So Nets need to lock in defensively. I feel like they've just been a little bit lackluster there, giving away a few wide open shots. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with how we've performed out the gates. So play will resume. We've got Trent and Watford out there now. So Nets have looked after the ball, but usually it drops away a little bit with the bench unit. We can't look after the ball. Watford around to Tyrese Martin, who will drive it in. Layup is blown. Sharp the board, and he wasn't fouled, but it will be Nets basketball. Zach Collins is in for the Bulls. He's played some good starter games, but coming off the bench in this one. Dalen Terry's in as well. Sharp looking. Finds Watford, who will go at Collins, and the quick scoop to the hoop is no good. And there is a phantom foul call on Julian Phillips. I think it is Dayron Sharp who picks up the personal. Keon Johnson's also on the floor. So the bench unit, well, it is an exclusive bench unit out there right now. Not one starter remains on the floor. Beautiful pocket pass. Collins isn't able to complete the layup as he was fouled by Keon Johnson, but 2 free throws and an opportunity to tie this one up. Playing some good basketball here, Chicago. So 2 free throws here. And Collins' first one rims in. And another conversion there. So we are all square for the first time since it was 0-0. Dayron out to Wilson to the corner for Watford. 3 ball over. Williams was so badly off it hit the side of the backboard, but the Nets got the rebound, the reload, and the 3 is also off. It's battled for on the glass, but the Bulls surface with the rebound. They've got a mismatch on the outside. Coby White's guarded by Sharp. The drive and kick. The open man in the corner is Phillips, and they've got the lead. They've got 8 in a row. After the net started with the first 8, Martin, off one leg, didn't get the whistle. And the Bulls just have the open man in transition. Williams, that three's off. Watford wasn't even ready for the rebound. The Bulls come in with it, and they will have a second chance at it. White drive in, scoop, and he gets the finger roll and the soft touch at the basket. The Bulls have taken control late in the quarter. That's pretty poor rebounding work by Watford. I don't know why. Sometimes he's so nonchalant on the court, Watford. Martin, good scoop. I feel like he's improved a lot with his attack on the basket. As the season's worn on, he definitely looks a lot more like an NBA player these days. There's a foul off the ball. And I think it was Martin on the wrap-up of the center. So ball triggered in. Collins has it knocked away. Dayron's going to take it away. Go end to end. One-man break, and he draws the foul. That's just a beautiful bit of defensive work leading to an opportunity on the offensive side here. That's what you love to see. We'll get free throws. Dayron's off on the first. That one is good, so 1:40 to play in this opening quarter. The lead is 2 for Chicago. They've responded well after a slow start. Tyrese Martin fouls out front, but this idiot has decided to do so with the Bulls in the bonus. It will be free throws. First free throw by Terry rims out. Second one is good. So Bulls have had a mixed bag of results here in this opening quarter. 3-point lead here for Chicago. Johnson the drive. Defender on the left shoulder. Driving kick. Martin hops into one from 3. It is good. All square at 27 now. Minute to play, opening quarter. The blitz arrives. Collins under the basket. Good recovery by Sharp. Dayron gets the block and then had it knocked away, but was able to ensure that the Nets still are able to bring it up the other end. Johnson the drive. Just got in no man's land on the drive attempt. Martin's going to step into another 3. Yes! He's feeling it. And the Nets have gone on a 9-1 run. It's been a quarter of runs here. We've had multiple of them occur on both sides. White, the step back over Wilson, cancels that run out and gives the Bulls, well, I was going to say the lead back, but they're down by 1. Watford is trying to execute the 2-for-1, but he looks like he's going to hold. There's a knock away, 29.4 on the clock. The Nets, if they operate quickly from this inbounds, then they may get a 2-for-1 chance. They get it into Martin. He's going to put another one up. That one's off. Long rebound by Watford. And the C's part for an open 3. And that one is off as well. The trap arrives. Coby White's going to hold for 1 now with 13 seconds left. Bounce pass. Terry to the corner for Phillips. He's going to drive. Kick out. It's an open look for Williams. He didn't shoot the 3. He goes for the Euro instead. And the 2-point conversion with 0.9 on the clock. And that's going to be quarter time. So 31-30 at the end of the first change. Whoops, I've done it the wrong way. So pretty decent start from both teams. I think you'd be pretty happy with the result. We're seeing, well, Tyrese Martin go berserk early in the game. He's 3 of 4 from deep. He's got the 11 points, and he is single-handedly spearheading our bench unit, really, because the starters have gotten a pretty well-rounded contribution, but with the bench, it's just been a one-man army. For the Bulls, they've got 8 from Pat Will off the bench. Coby White's been thereabouts as well. Every single Bull has scored so far. And overall, as a team, they're shooting the ball very well. After a slow start, they've gone 12 of 15 since. The Nets are shooting the ball, well, I would say pretty well themselves. They've only turned the ball over once, but they've had 8 extra shots and haven't had any extra conversions. So these second chance opportunities are probably going to waste a little bit. But I tell you what, it's good to see. Oh, as my headphones just completely cark it. It's good to see that Cam Thomas is facilitating the way he has in this first quarter. Never had a 5-assist quarter. But that is what I've just witnessed. And so I think that's a great sign, you know, pointing towards an improved skill of playmaking right there. And no turnovers as well on top of that. So he's been very responsible with it. Okay. Second quarter about to commence. Second quarter now underway. Hold on a second. Looks like a turnover and an early turnover there by Chicago. Will be Nets basketball, and they'll go the other way and try snatch the lead back. We've had a couple of lead changes early on in this game. D'Lo's back in, playing with the bench. No Martin on the floor. He's been too good, so they've taken him off for tanking purposes. Dayron out to Russell. Doubled. He's going to shoot a step back 3 and miss badly. Board by Chicago. White takes it inside. Passing around the perimeter. It's Collins. The tray is off. Phillips skied in for the rebound, but overshot it. And it will be the Nets who will look to score again on this play, but that pass lobbed up to Dayron Sharp was no good. Terry across to White. Drive in on Keon Johnson. A good guard defender. The kick out to Collins. Dayron's disrespecting and giving him way too much space in that corner right in front of the Bulls bench. Watford shoots with the right. Doesn't get enough on it. Bulls going to go early with the offense here. Coby White doesn't use the screen. Shoots a tough turnaround 2 in the mid-range, and the Bulls force the Nets into a timeout, and I don't think Geordie's going to be particularly happy with the way this has started. Okay. Okay. Apologies. Just sorting something out. All right. All good. Okay. So, scoreline is 36-30. Nets yet to score in this second quarter. Of course, there are some important games going on around the league right now. We have, of course, own the Bucks pick. And every loss that they pick up, of course, matters. Right now, they are beating LA by 8, and I think that would be expected given the Lakers are a little bit short-handed front court-wise. The Magic are beating the Pelicans as well, so that's not optimal for what we need to occur today. But us losing, of course, matters. So I don't know. It feels like there's a fair bit of imbalance with this lineup right now. So I feel like Watford hasn't been really a net positive. Ball inbounded. And it will be Russell bringing it up. He's got Wilson, Watford, Johnson, and Sharp as his counterparts on the court right now. Here's Russell. Across to Wilson, who will drive it in on Coby White. He's got the size. It's off, but Dayron, the putback slam. Early offense by Terry. The quick kick out. Coby White steps into one. No. So the three-point shooting, I feel, hasn't been a point of, well, strength for Chicago in this game so far. Dayron receives the pocket pass, the pump fake, and the strength to score through Zach Collins there. And Dayron's gotten the Nets' first couple of buckets here in this second quarter. Some good offense, some smart offense. Collins to the corner for Terry, who isn't afraid to let it fly, and that one is a brick. Russell, the no-look to Johnson. Picks up his dribble. Wilson takes it as he's running. And he's going to roll Collins out to the perimeter. The bounce pass into Sharp was no good because he was moving away from where the ball was directed towards. The Nets have had a couple turnovers in the quarter already. Terry, the block by Johnson. And the Nets are going to sprint forward. They've got the numbers. Wilson goes at White, and there is an offensive foul. So, 2-point game. The Nets have the chance to tie it there. We'll take the lead. But another turnover for the Nets. That's number 3 in the quarter. And that's what I did say was going to occur. The minute this bench came in, the turnovers were probably going to drop away. Beautiful backdoor cut to Trey Jones. And D'Angelo Russell lost him. It was Zach Collins with the feed. Back in the olden days, it would be flipped around the other way. Cam Johnson getting ready to return for the Nets. Russell over the shoulder to Wilson, who takes it inside on Trey Jones and scores with the right hand. Smart play. We're forcing the mismatches quite well. And I like the assertion going at the basket, especially with Vucevic off the court and them having a little bit of a smaller lineup out there. Jones, the kick out to Herter, to the corner for Phillips. Pulls the trigger. 3 is off to the left. Russell the board. Across to Watford, who will go downhill. He lost the handle. And now he's going to back the man down, kick it out, get it back. Goes at Bezalis and doesn't get it to go, but there's another foul. And Bezalis is struggling to remain disciplined on this end of the floor. He's picked up 3 personals already in the game. And ideally, with that being their first round pick, you know, you'd love to see him be out on the floor as much as possible. But the 3 personal fouls are going to limit his action as he heads straight back to the bench. Cam Thomas, Tyrese Martin, Cam Johnson all checking in for Brooklyn, who have been very good offensive pieces in this match so far. Horton Tucker's in the game for the first time today. It's taken 16 minutes for him to check in, but better late than never, I guess. Jones goes at Sharp. Wheels it back out to Herter in the corner, who will go down the middle and shoot over Johnson. It's a tough shot. It's off. And Watford plucks it with one hand. Given a lot of space on the outside. Thomas bounces it into Watford, who's got Jones on him, and he's going to attack him and gets fouled again. So Trenton Watford is causing a few issues in the post there. Jones doesn't really stand a chance. He's a point guard. He's not used to having to guard, well, a 6'7" post player, basically. He'd want to be out on the perimeter more in his comfort zone, but the Nets are doing a good job of exploiting where there may not be as much comfort. Claxton back in, Sharp to the bench. Nets have the lead by 1, so they've responded well. And the Nets have actually gone on a 9-2 run since they called a timeout. Billy Donovan's going to call a timeout for Chicago, though, and reverse the favor. And this is a very, very even match. Fosh, welcome, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Orlando up by 17. That is not a good result for us. The Bucks have gotten 71 points out of their team in the first half over the Lakers, who I need to see how many points Luke has gotten. He's got 29 points in the first half. He's single-handedly carrying this team. Reeves has got 13 as well, but the fact they're down 8 and they've gotten 29 out of Luka Doncic already is mind-blowing. The Bucks have 4 players in double figures already. Gary Trent's got 11 off the bench. Porter's got 15. Dame's got 15. And Lopez has 13. They've held Giannis to 6 points. But, man, they are giving away shots at a very high percentage. If we just go to Tankathon, which is the NBA draft lottery simulator, the Nets sit equal 5th right now. A loss today would see them dip below Philadelphia. It's going to be very neck and neck for the rest of the season, but with Philly putting Embiid on ice for the season, Paul George being out for quite a bit of time this season as well, or it's been trending that way, and Tyrese Maxey the same, I would sense that it's going to be very, very, well, interesting to see who actually ends up below the other. I almost feel as if the Pelicans will catch. Yeah, I almost feel as if the Pelicans will catch the Sixers at least. The Sixers had like a 9-game losing streak. They've had an awful run. I'm trying to see schedule. Man, the Sixers had a run where they won 8 of 10. So you remove that, and my God, it is disgusting. The other day when they played the Raptors and they lost that game, they did not have Maxey available. I mean, their team was cooked. Lonnie Walker must have gotten injured inside the first minute. Alrighty, so we've got another free throw here for Trenton Watford, who's gotten busy from the free throw line here in the second quarter. And he gets that free throw to go. So Nets crack 41st. 7:30 left in the second. Bounce pass out to Herder. Into Vucevic. Back out to Horton Tucker. Thought about the three. But now needs a bailout option as that three wasn't on. Herder with 6 to shoot. Steps back. He's going to lob it into Vucevic, who's walking a tightrope, and Cam Johnson is able to save. As that pass was errant. And now we're going to look for Claxton, who's got Herder guarding him. And they lob it up. And Claxton is able to blow the layup. Almost feel as if Clax should have done it in 2 motions. And just to add a stab wound, Herder goes up the other end and hits a 3 because Claxton didn't get back. So that's got to kill ya. Bulls up 1. Claxton guarded by Horton Tucker on the outside. Thomas is going to attack. Watford back out to CT, who will take it inside. He's got an open man on the outside. Oh, wow. He put everyone off because I thought that was going out to the perimeter. But it went to Trenton Watford instead, which was higher percentage, and Thomas has another assist. There's a foul on Horton Tucker. Watford will pick up the personal, and that will actually mark his spell coming to an end, and into the game will be Zaire Williams. That's great work by Cam Thomas. So 1 point lead for Brooklyn. Trey Jones out of Vucevic. Herder hops into another 3, and that one is misdirected. Rebound for the Nets. Martin. Backdoor cut. Williams. Layup. Or flush. Whichever you want to call it. It's all 2 points anyway. Drive by Jones. What? I thought he got that clean. .552 to play in the second. Free throws here for Trey Jones, who attacked the basket on multiple net defenders. We're nearly at the halfway point of the game. We're just a little bit over halfway in this second quarter. Coby White will return. He had a good first quarter with the 8 points. One more free throw here for him, and that is good. 44-43, the score. Cam Johnson flings it to Martin, who will roll Vucevic back out to the perimeter and go at him. The kick out to Williams. He hops into a 3. Splash! Z's got another make. We were talking about his 3-point impact pre-game. And it hasn't faltered here today. Horton Tucker's hit with a travel. And it will be a turnover. The Nets have a chance to expand this lead further. And go into the halftime break with a healthy lead. They've had more control in this game. Bulls have taken the lead back a couple of times, but for the most part, it's been in the Nets' lap, this lead. Thomas gets it back from Claxton. He's going to step back for 3. Splash! Walking bucket is Cam Thomas. That was no exception. It's back to 7. The Nets only 6 3-point makes, but they've only done it on 12 tries. So, as I was saying before, low volume 3-point shooting for Brooklyn in this first half. But high efficiency. Herder responds with a 3 of his own there. And in the second, he started to let his scoring start to tick over. Thomas takes it downhill and scores with the right. He blows right by Vucevic. He's had great balance today, CT. White over the shoulder. Vucevic to the corner. Jones hops into one. That one's good as well. So both teams shooting very well in the second quarter. 8 of 12 the Nets. 6 of 13 the Bulls. Thomas. Got it closely. Screen set. No look. Claxton. Fouled by White. And both players look a little bit worse for wear. But they'll recover. So Nets have been busy drawing fouls. They'll get into a set now, though. 4 minutes to play. Thomas takes it inside again. Charge was attempted to be taken. Thomas blew a layup on the second try, and on the third go, he will get fouled and shoot free throws. So CT's had a couple good looks at the rim tonight, which uncharacteristically he hasn't converted, but that's actually really smart by Cam. Mid-air, adjusting his body because he was about to barrage straight into Julian Phillips there. So Thomas at the line on 8 points currently makes that one. Martin's off and Russell's back to close out the quarter. .354 to play. Thomas made the first, made the second on his second trip to the line. The Nets now win the bonus the rest of the way in this first half. Trey Jones now in a switch. Vucevic is going to need to be guarded by Russell in the post, which I do not like. Jones goes up and accelerates his way to the basket and beats Claxton to the spot. Thomas tries to split defenders, but instead got his pocket picked, and the Bulls in transition. It's Coby White, splash. And they cannot miss three ball shooting. I don't even know how that wasn't even English remotely. But you get the message. They cannot miss from the perimeter. And I'm pretty sure they've made like their last 4 from the outside, it feels like. And that's good defensive work by Trey Jones. Opened up the shooter in the corner as Claxton was trying to stay home. And it's all tied up at 54 with a little bit left in this second quarter. Offense has been a staple of this first half for both teams. It looks like we're both on track for 60. Cam Thomas with a very, very nice looking box score. He's only had the 1 turnover, but the 6 assists, the 10 points, albeit on a fair chunk of inefficiency, but he's been to the line. He's shooting the ball pretty well. And we've had great contributions from basically every net that's seen some action on the floor. The plus minus, I mean, there is not much difference there. You don't see anyone with more than a +2 for the Nets, and, you know, no worse than a -2. So each lineup that we've had out there has put up a fair fight and been pretty even in their outputs. It's been a pretty good shooting night for Brooklyn as well. We're 20 of 41, which is just a tick under 50%, but the 7 extra shots compared to the Bulls, the same amount of makes. They're 20 of 34. They're 8 of 17 from deep. I'm pretty sure they've hit their last, 3 threes. Free throws where we're looking all right. And it's been a low turnover game as well, so that's probably why the offense is where it's at, to be honest. Thomas on the perimeter again. Guarded by Phillips. He's going to be defended by Phillips. He does well. forced Phillips to jump into him. That is just the difficulty that comes with guarding Cam Thomas, because you know he can convert. In the toughest of situations, right there, he draws the man in and gets the foul call and will get free throws here. 2 free throws coming up now for CT with 3 minutes to play. Thomas now equal high scorer on the night for the Nets. Tyrese Martin's got the 11 in limited minutes as a bench player. Thomas with 11 as a starter, but responsible for an absolute boatload more points with the 6 dimes as well. Thomas makes both. 56-54 the score. So Trey Jones on the outside. There's the take foul on Russell. Trey Jones has gotten very busy in this second quarter. Jones, pocket pass into Vooch. The kick out. They've got an open shooter in the corner. It's Herter again. He cannot miss in the quarter, but on that occasion, it's an exception. Thomas, a little bit more scoring heavy in the quarter. We'll get it back from Claxton. Oh, good move. Shovel off. Williams, the backdoor cut. I'm really impressed with Cam Thomas's game today. The facilitation has looked the best I've ever seen it. Coby White gets by Williams for an easy layup. But Cam Thomas, he's definitely on track to get a double-double for sure. Claxton bats it out to Cam Thomas as we get an offensive rebound. Thomas picks up his dribble. Out to Russell. Deep heave. It's off. Rebound by the Bulls. Coby White looking to go early. Herter on the outside. The blitz arrives. To the corner for Jones. The spin move. Vooch the push shot. And he's got the soft touch. All square at 58. 1:30 to play in the second. Cam Thomas looking impressive. I think it's enjoyable watching his game tonight because you don't know if he's going to score or he's going to pass the ball off. And I thought he got fouled. He wanted a whistle. It's a 4-on-1 fast break, and Herter scores the layup. I thought Cam Johnson did a pretty good job there, but he didn't have the numbers by his side. The Bulls, though, unfortunately having run up one end of the floor to score the ball in numbers, they had absolutely no one back, and Zaire Williams scored an easy flush at the rim. Johnson with the facilitation. Vooch the spin and the score over Claxton again. As we enter the final minute of this first half, it's D'Angelo Russell who will bounce it into Claxton. Thomas is going to call for it again. He's guarded by Phillips. He's going to step back for 3. Yes! He is on a heater. 30 seconds to play in the quarter. Bulls do not execute the 2-for-1. White behind the back. Lost the ball. Thomas with the steal. And the knockaway by Claxton. Thomas gets it ahead. Johnson the layup. Oh my God. That's so strange. I don't know why he committed that foul. We had like 3 numbers back. The Bulls had 1 in the front court, so I really don't know why we called that foul there. Or took that foul. I think maybe if we had the foul to give, we were trying to commit the foul just to get a few extra changes made. Thomas to the bench. With that said, and Cam Johnson the same. Wilson's in. Keon Johnson's in. For the final possession, we've got 8 to shoot. Trey Jones with the ball. Claxton sagging off. That bounce pass not intended for White. It ends up there. The Euro, the layup, it's off. And the buzzer will sound. And the Nets have the lead. A one-possession game heading into the second half, 65-62 the score, but it was headlined by maybe the best game I've seen Cam Thomas play from a facilitation perspective. The Nets of 35 points. Cam Thomas has scored the ball, but he hasn't been heavily prolific at all. Like, let's have a look at the box score. Cam Thomas, ladies and gentlemen, has 15 points. I say he hasn't been prolific, but like only the 9 shots for 15 points. That's great efficiency. He's been to the line for 6 free throws, but the big number is the 8 assists. Now, he has never done that in a game, barring one other occurrence, which happened in February of this year. Sorry, last year, against Dallas. He's never had more assists in a game, and he's got 8 assists in a half of basketball. That is a great bit of development for him. Only the 2 turnovers as well is a team high +5 in the plus-minus as well. So he is heavily contributing to the 65 points that we have scored. I mean, like, at minimum, Cam Thomas accounts for half of our points because, you know, the assists, 8 assists, 8 times 2 is 16, and then the 15 points on top, 31 points. That's excluding threes that he may have assisted on. So he's accounting for basically, half our points. So he is stuffing the stat sheet, and it's been a very impressive performance. But I think that goes without saying. We're seeing some high efficiency performances from a number of players, including Tyrese Martin, who's got 11. Zaire Williams has been very active off the ball, and that is how he has not missed yet, because he's scored quite a few buckets in the paint. And Nic Claxton, well, he's on track for another, well, close to triple-double sort of stat line tonight with 4 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. Cam Johnson with the 7, he's only taken the 6 shots as well. And we've been pretty busy at the free throw line, already the 12 free throws in the half. The Bulls are liking the 3-point shot in this first half. So are we, though. We're not even on track to hit or attempt 33s in the game today, but we're converting them at a good percentage. And that's because there's been a lot of 2s on offer. And you'd be an absolute schmuck to not actually make the most of those opportunities you're getting. We're shooting above 50% from the floor and from 3 as well. And look, I think for improvement in the second half, it would start with forcing a few more turnovers and ensuring that field goal percentage for Chicago goes down, because it's been very, very high and they've gotten a lot of good looks, hence the 62 points we've given up. But for the most part, I'm very happy with the offense I'm watching. And if we lose having scored 120, then I'm going to be pretty happy with the result. I just want to see Cam Thomas go berserk in this game, because like he has copped a lot of shit from some people on Twitter and that sort of thing about not passing the ball. But I've seen an improvement this year with the way he is passing. It's very obvious that he doesn't... I don't associate him as much with being a ball hog because, well, to be quite frank, he's not a ball hog anymore, at least. Okay. Yeah, Cam's been very, very impressive. Let's see what people are saying on Twitter about Cam. Sorry I'm late. Do we want the Nets to win or tank? I think tonight's probably a good night to not win. Especially looking around the grounds, the Bucks are smoking LA. And the Magic are up 30 on the Pelicans. So, given what's happened yesterday and the Pelicans winning the other day, you do not want to. You probably don't want to win. But, like, the Cam Thomas performance today has it definitely made it enjoyable to watch, that's for certain. Goodness me, the Pelicans stink. My God. 2 of 14 from 3. The Magic have gotten 44 points out of Banchero and Wagner in a half. Mental to me. Let's have a quick look at the team stats. I actually didn't take the time to look at that in this game so far, but the assist number I imagine would be through the roof like it was the other day. 21 assists in the first half on 24 made field goals. Very, very impressive. Cam Thomas, of course, spearheading the charge there. Offensive rebounds, well up, 9-2. That was something we were down on the other day, and it was pretty costly in the end, to be completely honest. Points off turnovers, we've conceded a few more, which is, I imagine that's a key to the game for the Bulls, who are up 10-3 in fast break points as well. Points in the paint, we usually get smoked. But in this game, there's been a much better balance. Shot profile-wise, we've got 30 points in the paint, and that is not including the free throws that you're knocking down as well, the fouls you're drawing. So definitely a few positives in that. And second chance points, I think that's going to be another good reader of how the team has performed today. Because those second chance opportunities I feel have been very, very valuable. That's for sure. Just have a quick look. Second chance points. 6-2. So it's not actually that big, but I feel like that, even just the little 4-point difference, could be massive by the game's end. I think more holding Chicago to 2 second chance points is the big thing, because like in years gone by, Vucevic has been he's actually torched us. But today his rebounding has just not been a thing. Like, I'm pretty sure he averages a double-double against us. And today only the 7 points, the 2 rebounds. He is coming off injury, but no Bull is more than 2 rebounds. So look, I think that's a great benefit of the way we've played in this first half. Cam Thomas has 3 offensive rebounds. I think he's gotten a few of his own misses, but, I'm not going to complain about that, of course. Obviously a bit of a shame he's not shooting at a better percentage, but 4 of 9 isn't even that bad. So we've gotten some good bench production too, 24 points, I think, off the bench. So that, of course, is going to be key in the second half. This did happen in the previous game, though, where we've already got 3 players in double figures, but we had, I think, 4 or 5 players, maybe 6 with 7 or more points, and we weren't able to see that production through right to the end of the game. So the key is in the second half getting, some consistency. Trenton Watford is 1 of 5, but his free throws have been good. So he needs to try and get to the line as much as he can in the second half. Martin, I don't know if he's going to go 4 of 7 in the second half. Dayron got busy in the second quarter. He's had a pretty good he's got a little box score to show for his efforts: 5 points, 4 rebounds, an assist, a steal, and a block. So I think second half, Cam Thomas, if he can get that balance right, he could honestly be destined for 30 and 15, the way he's been playing. So I'm interested to see what this may result at. I don't want to see Cam Thomas's assist numbers stall, because we've scored 65 on the back of him getting that balance right. And I don't feel like he's forced any shot selection. The 15 points have only come on 9 shots. He's been really smart with it. He's had the patience. He's seen the openings. He's seen his teammates off ball make the movements, and he's honored those passes. So yeah, really happy with what's been demonstrated. Alrighty. Okay. Man, I don't really know. Like, it's such an interesting place to be in. As a net supporter, I feel like I said this game after game, but I really don't know what I want to happen. Like, like in this game specifically, because I feel like I want to see Cam Thomas go off and have that 30.15 assist game that I've been talking about, and that would be a career night. But I feel like in order for that to happen, we have to win. And winning wouldn't be necessarily positive in a game like this. Games around the grounds tomorrow. Like, now I'm even looking ahead to other games that are occurring. Philly play Indy tomorrow. Any other games that concern? Toronto play Utah. That is a very good fixture for Toronto. I'm pretty sure they're going to win that because Utah blatantly tank. And so much so they got fined $100,000 or whatever it is. So those are the two big games tomorrow, I think. For us, especially. Let's see who the Raptors have got in the next few games. Because I don't think we're going to catch Toronto. They have won 5 of their last 6. And I'm pretty sure they've got a very favorable run home. Portland... Oh, actually, no. Well, they've got like 5 very good games. Or 6 in a row that they could win. They've got from March 24 to April the 2nd. This is the week that's going to determine whether or not they just like blitz us, which they should. They've got Washington, us, the Spurs, the Hornets, the Sixers, and the Bulls. They've also got us again, and they've got Charlotte again, and they've got the Spurs again on the final day. They honestly could exceed 32 wins. Just looking at those games in isolation. The Pelicans are a different story. And the Philadelphia 76ers are also a different story. I don't know how many easy ones they've got on the run home. Because they have slid. Their run home is looking a lot tougher. A lot tougher. There's not too many more I can see them winning. So... that's not going to be great for our hopes. And that's why games like today, you probably don't want us to get up. Because I don't know, I think our run home isn't actually too bad. We've got some tough ones, though. I think we played Boston and Indiana like 5 times in the final 15 games. So, you know, there are some very tough matches in there. But look, I'm just going to support what I see, and I do support that Cam Thomas first half dearly. So let's see what the Nets have got here in the second half. 65-62. In case you missed it, Cam Thomas had A beautiful 15.8 assist first half, which is sometimes what you get out of him in a whole game. Or you get less. But this is probably the most impressive first half I've seen from him. Herder tries to split defenders. The kick out to Bezalis. Johnson lost him, and Bezalis with the one-handed flush. He's been starved for action because he's been in foul trouble for much of the game, but he scores a beautiful slam there. Claxton on the outside. Looking for Cam Thomas. There he is. Couple screens set for him. Thomas the spin. Picks up his dribble. Moves through and scores the layup. That was just so delicate. Bezalis to Trey Jones. Back to Bezalis. Over to Vucevic. To the corner for White. It's just an open three. It's a bad miss, though, and Cam Johnson with the board. Johnson got hit. Referees did not see. Thomas, the outside. He's going to step back for three. Nope. Board secured by the Bulls, which is an area of improvement that needs to occur. Bezalis nearly lost the handle, but did well. Herder. To the corner for Jones. He'll drive on Johnson. Johnson meets it at the rim. Thomas. Trailer is Williams, who moves through. The extra to Russell. It's an open three above the break. It's off. Claxton, the easy putback dunk. Vucevic couldn't even be asked jumping for the ball. Or boxing out. Simple flush. White. Spin. Russell, good defense. Forces the miss on the layup attempt. Claxton's going to push. He's going to go at Vucevic and scores the layup. And Billy Donovan's going to call a timeout. I swear Clax is a professional at this, having just the quietest of first halves offensively, and then scores the same amount of points in the first half, or that he did in the entire first half in about 2 minutes. He had 4 points at halftime. He's now got 8. And the lead has just inflated a little bit here, up to 7. Cam Thomas with the 17 points. He almost could go for a triple-double here, the way he's playing. 17 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists. Cam Thomas has never had a double-double before, because the assist number has never been higher than 8, and rebounding, he never even sniffs double figures. But he could be on track for it today, depending on how many misses we see from Chicago in the second half. Claxton may push a triple-double as well, depending on how assist-worthy he is in the second half. He's already up to 8 points and now 7 rebounds. And the Nets have started this second half brightly from the field. They have made how many? 3 of 5. 3-point shooting has been, not a staple in this game. Neither of the turnovers. But the Nets have found a lot of gaps, especially at the basket, and have really penetrated through a Bulls defense that hasn't really proven to be all that strong today. The starters have been really strong. But it's like it's more the younger players we're talking. We're talking Claxton, we're talking CT. Williams is still young these days. He's not even 25. Like, these are some good players that we could have in the long term. So I think it's going to be, it's good to see these players performing. The lead's at 7. Offense has not fallen away yet, but it did happen about some way through the third quarter last game. Of course, we're coming up against a team which is a lot less talented, a lot less experienced, a lot less credentialed. So 71-64 the score. Play's going to resume And the Nets don't make any changes. Of course, only a couple minutes into the game. Here's Coby White on the perimeter. Across the Trey Jones. Drive down the middle. Kick out to the weak side. It's Bazelis who lets it fly, and that's off. The board by Claxton. Board number 8. Thomas bounces it into D'Lo. And now Cam Thomas on the outside. Going to get blitzed here, which should open up an opportunity for an assist here. Claxton's going to spin on Vucevic, and the foul arrives. Vucevic reckons he got a piece, I think. But Claxton's been assertive in this third quarter and can head into double figures. Two free throws here for Clax. And that one is good. So one more free throw here for Clax. And that one is a brick. So he's on the verge of another double-double. 7-0 run for Brooklyn. From practically the start of this second half. White is trapped. Herter on the outside is going to pull up for 3 and is short on that one. Jones, the offensive board into Vucevic, and that 3 is off. Claxton, the rebound. He's piling on the rebounds here in this second half. Cam Thomas. High screen. Thomas to Claxton. Back to Cam Thomas, who will take it inside. Layup. No good. There was no foul, and Russell is going to wind up in a jump ball with Nikola Vucevic. Cam Thomas is a little bit slow to get up. He reckons he was fouled. Nah, there was no foul there. So it'll be a jump ball between Russell and Vucevic. Russell giving up a ton of size, but a little bit more youthful and probably got more springs in the legs. But he wasn't able to reach as high, and Vucevic wins the jump. Bazelis, early 3. Nope. He's going to give it to Coby White in the corner. Bounces it into Vucevic. Numbers double because the mismatch on the inside. White lost the ball going up, and Cam Johnson is adamant that he did nothing. And Giddey may challenge this. Where was the foul? Where was it? Oh my God, there is nothing there, brother. Where's the foul? Are you fucking serious? Vooch does a little pirouette and doesn't get the roll. So it looks like Giddey just backed in his team to play defense, because it was a foul on the floor. Johnson at the elbow. That rattles home, and the Nets have gotten it out to double figures. That's their largest lead of the game. Scored 9 in a row. Wide across the Herter was a little bit of a scary pass for them, but it lands in the lap of Bazelis, who's long on the 3. Claxton, another rebound. Bulls are 1 of 9 in the quarter. Russell with the delicate crossover. Claxton on the left. It was an air ball. Good defense by the Bulls. They have the numbers. Bazelis got clotheslined by CT. And he's going to be slow to get up. So there could be a potential assessment of a flagrant here. It very well could be a flagrant call there. Bazelis moving through with the Euro step probably made that look, or made that become more reckless than it should have been. So the officials will look at this, lead at 10. Probably kills the momentum a little bit. That's probably going to result in a flagrant call, I would imagine. Alrighty. So a few discussions here. Looks like they may be getting a little bit of clarification. Maybe not as clear as first thought. Okay, so 2 shots and ball. Could be a little change of momentum, to be honest. So free throws here for Bazalis. First one rattles in. So CT with the flagrant foul. Bazalis made the first free throw. There's one more here, and that one ends up being a perfect trip. So back down to 8, and they will also have the basketball. It's been a very rough shooting quarter here for the Bulls so far. Only the 4 points in the quarter. Vucevic goes at Claxton, the spin, the lockup, the kick out to Bazalis, the extra to Phillips, who's in the game. It's off. Claxton gets another rebound. He's going to push the pace himself. Does well to secure Cam. Thomas was open for a long while there, but the Nets did not see him. Russell across to Johnson. Steps back for 3. Splash. Rhythmic. Good bucket. And we end up actually scoring more than they did with the flagrant call in their favor. Bazalis looking for Vucevic under the basket. Forces the double and the kick out and the open 3 and the splash by Phillips. Cuts it back down to 8. So a little over halfway left in this third quarter remaining. Leads up at 8 now. Claxton at the elbow. Cam Johnson receives the pass. He's doubled. Claxton open in the middle and puts too much on it with the left hand. Jones out to Bazalis, who has been a lot better on the defensive end, so he remains on the floor. Jones blew the layup. Claxton there defensively again. He's really gotten into the game in this quarter. Thomas takes it downhill and scores the layup. And he wanted the whistle again, but CT don't get no whistles. Even though he's got the 6 free throws tonight. Jones, good handle. Because I thought there was a steal on offer there for Brooklyn, but Jones accelerates to the cup, cuts it back down to 8, which seems to be the lead we're hovering at right now. Williams. Out to Cam Thomas. Steps back. Oh, he lost Vucevic. It's an open 3. It's short, though. Heard of the long board. Bizelis getting ahead. Phillips the cutter. And there's a foul going up. And Phillips ends up in like the 5th row. Or maybe a little bit further back, actually. Julian Phillips at the line now. Good foul by D'Lo. With Phillips going up. Would have been an easy regulation layup otherwise. Phillips. Perfect on the first. Second one is also good, so it's back down to now 6 points. Nets into a set. Johnson. Passes cut off. Williams on the wing. Back to Cam Johnson up top. High screen Claxton. Johnson moves inside. Pulls up from 15 feet and he gets the bounce. So inside the final 5 minutes of the quarter now, Bizelis fumbled the handle, forced Williams to come across and help. But the Bulls retain. Now Bizelis on the wing. Catch and shoot 3. No good. Cam Johnson the board. And the Nets will start to make a couple of changes. Johnson picks up his dribble. Needs help. Thomas was open for 3. The Bulls forgot about him. It didn't matter though. It was off, but Claxton gets a rebound. He is absolutely taking over in this third quarter. So Claxton back at the line for his second trip in the quarter. Cam Thomas has missed a couple of open looks. He's made more difficult shots in this game. Free throws coming up, though, now for Claxton. Clax misses the first. Wilson now in. Keon Johnson also in. Tyrese Martin and Day'Ron Sharpe also coming into the game. Claxton, though, still needs to shoot a pair. One more free throw for Claxton. Claxton good on the second, so literally a professional at making 1 or 2. It's actually baffling to me. It's a 9-point game. Coby White to Trey Jones across. He's going to drive down the middle. Kick out. The floor opens up. White 3. Yes, sir. Another conversion from the outside for the Bulls. That's 3, number 10. Thomas now off the floor, so let's see what this bench unit has got. Watford did well to create separation and just blew the easy 2. So he has lacked a lot of polish in this game at the basket. Trey Jones out to Collins into the corner for Pat Will. Running out of time here to score. 5 to shoot. There's a foul off the ball. Well, the play's waved away. It's going to reset to 14 with 3:31 left in the quarter. It will allow Day'Ron Sharpe to check in and relieve Nic Claxton, who's had a great third quarter. Now with a double-double, 10 points and 12 rebounds. After not even being remotely close to that mark in the quarter. Or heading into the quarter. Day'Ron's just been here with another personal. The Bulls are now in the bonus. What a stupid foul to concede. Got to be more fucking aware. So free throws coming up here. At the 3:27 mark, it's Zach Collins at the free throw line. Collins good on number 2. So 3.5 minutes to play here in this third quarter. Wilson to Watford. Dayron man in the middle. Across to Jalen Wilson. Sharp was open momentarily. They're playing a very, very good bit of defense here. And it forces a miss. The scrambling defense usually causes a few problems for Brooklyn. There's an open look for Terry. Airball. Jesus Christ. Keon Johnson to the trailer, which is Wilson. There's an open shooter above the break. It's Watford. Extra to Wilson, who gets it back. No. It's a good little play there, though, by Brooklyn. Coby White trying to shake and bake on Keon Johnson. Forces the double. Open shooter in the corner is Phillips. That one's off. They're getting a lot of good looks here. But unable to get it within a single possession. Martin. He hits a 3. Nets are 2 of 10 from deep in the quarter. The Bulls the exact same. So after they were very strong shooting the ball from the outside, both teams have fallen away. What a pass by Coby White. It opens up the floor. Pat Williams. Oh my goodness. Got to be scoring those. Keon Johnson. Great persistence on the glass. Because that was well and truly in dispute. But Keon Johnson chasing it with tenacity. Took like 5 half grabs in order for him to actually reel it in. But it's allowed for a timeout to be called by Brooklyn. CT triple-double tonight? I don't think so. I don't think so, lad. The rebounding has been snatched away from him by Nic Claxton, who's got the 12 rebounds and the 10 points. So he is in control. But Cam Thomas has had a little bit less of a prolific quarter. No assists, only the 4 points. The shooting percentages have gone down. But as a team, we've looked a lot better. I mean, Cam Johnson's doubled his points total in the quarter. Claxton went from 4 points and 5 rebounds to having 6 points and 7 boards in a quarter. I mean, that is just a ginormous impact. And that is without D'Angelo Russell really doing anything. Tyrese Martin's been great from 3 today. He's accounted for nearly half our 3-pointers, to be honest. Without him, I don't know where our offense would be from the outside. For the Bulls, Coby White's got the 18. Jones and Hurt are very, very good in the first half, but only 2 points between them in the second half. And yet they still remain within single figures. So it's definitely been a less prolific offensive quarter. That's for certain. Alrighty. Alrighty. So under 2 minutes left in this third quarter. Nets are going to be looking to close this one out on a high. Still got a lot of basketball to play, though. Third quarter's been much improved on the defensive end, and that remains correlated with an engaged Nic Claxton. Okay. So, Nets of the basketball here. Watford's going to back down Williams after the timeout. Out to Dayron Sharp. It looks like we were trying to find Martin, but instead we attack the interior and Dayron gets the bounce on the hook shot to get it back out to 9. Coby White's going to go early in the clock and shoot over Dayron Sharp. The runner is short. The Nets get the board and they'll run the other way and try. Oh, what a feed! Oh, Watford didn't have the polish. Dayron's on the ground and multiple bodies on the floor. Looks like Dayron's going to be okay, but... Gee, the Bulls have actually fouled us. So it's going to be free throws here. With the Nets in the bonus, I think it's Watford who's going to head there. Watford at the line. Doesn't have the fortune on his side. Misses the first. So conversion there. Williams. Across to Coby White. 1:10 to play here in this third quarter. He'll drive in and he gets by the defender. He turned the corner nicely. So back down to 8. Martin. Oh my goodness. How has he gotten the bounce there? Luck's on his side today. He hasn't been able to miss a shot. Williams, the crossover. Collins, the screen. Beautiful move, but Dayron, the denial. Nets will run. They've got the numbers. Martin, the drive. The Bulls do well to close off the outlet. The Nets will have an open look on the outside if they want it. Johnson will accelerate to the rim and high off the glass. Is able to scoop it home. And the Nets are up to a lead of 12. 92 points in 3 quarters. The lead is at its largest, and Coby White is fouled on the floor and will get 2 free throws with 7.8 on the clock. First one rattles home for Coby White. He's basically single-handedly keeping them in this one. Second one is good. (92-82). Watford picks up his dribble. Nearly a turnover. It's going to be knocked into the backcourt and the shot clock expires. The game clock expires, should I say. It's 3-quarter time. The lead is 10. And the Nets are in control. They scored 27 points in that third quarter. Chicago, only the 20, and it is by far their worst showing from an offensive perspective in the quarter. We go to the box score. And, well, Tyrese Martin's been superb. 16 points off the bench, leading that contingent. But for the starters, you've got nearly every single starter in double figures. Cam Thomas with an equal career high 8 assists, but he hasn't added from his total at halftime. But other players have picked up the slack. 7 points in the quarter to Cam Johnson. D'Lo's got 4 assists. Dayron's got 3 dimes as well, a couple of excellent ones. And overall, we're looking in good shape. Coby White's got 22 as the high man for the Bulls, but really not a ton of support there in that third quarter. The three-point shooting dropped away for both teams in that quarter. The Nets now down to 9 of 22. The Bulls only shooting a little bit under 50%, or should I say 33%, after they were sitting at roughly 50% at the main change. The free throws are keeping the Bulls in this one, though. And there's barely been any turnovers in this game. So very rarely are there being all that many stoppages, which I think is well in the respect of turning the ball over. I think a lot of energy has been preserved because there hasn't been too many fast break points. A lot of free throws as well. So I think both teams are going to be really refreshed for this fourth quarter, ready to put their best foot forward. But if you know one thing, it's that the Nets cannot play a full four quarters. So there may very well be an 18-point fourth quarter incoming here. So I'm interested to see what the output is going to be. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're new. We'll be back for Nets versus the Boston Celtics in a couple of days' time. So make sure to tune in for that. So you don't miss the game. Fourth quarter underway. Thomas on the floor to start this quarter, and he's fouled. And it looks like there's going to be free throws. Coby White is not happy about this. So Nets from the side out. Watford bounces it into Thomas, who snuck in behind. He blew the little runner. The Bulls in transition. It's a 3-on-3 break. White. Scoop. Doesn't get it to go. The putback is good, though. The springs that Julian Phillips has helped him out greatly in that situation. Oh, beautiful shovel there by Cam Johnson out to Watford. Thomas in the weak side corner. He cannot buy a bucket in the quarter. In the half, Dayron misses the two at the hoop. So Nets starting the fourth with a good group. But as White hits that three, Giddey is going to call for calm. He's not going to call for a timeout. But we're getting some really good looks to start this fourth quarter. But it's almost like the minute that fourth quarter starts, we just forget what we're doing. Thomas has just thrown it away, and the Bulls are hustling. It's a 2-on-1 break. Jones, kick out to White. Another three is off that time. They get the board, though. Collins picks up his dribble. Out to Williams. He's going to hop into one. That one's off. It's off hands. The rebound by Brooklyn. So, gee, this has been a bit of a tough watch. Russell, nope. Board by Brooklyn. Oh, well, it was a tie-up, but it's going to end up with Brooklyn because of it coming off the Bulls off hands. I don't know if it actually was. Pretty tough one to call, that one. So 2 minutes gone in this fourth quarter. Nets yet to score in this period. Thomas loses the attention, goes up, isn't able to get it to go. Dayron's not there for the follow either. And the Bulls can close in again. Another layup, it's White. And there's the timeout by Giddey. It's a one-man army with Coby White, man. He's killing us. Okay. Alrighty. This is exactly what I'm saying there. This is a typical start to a Nets fourth quarter when we have the lead. Consider the first 7 of the quarter and just completely, well, let our good third quarter go to waste, you know? Okay. Okay. Alrighty. So 7-0 run in the last 2 minutes. Cam Thomas has got the ball now. Russell's open in the corner. Trey Jones completely lost him. Russell's just hit the top of the fucking backboard. Goodness me. Coby White. Oh, he's moved through again. He's taking the game by the scruff of the neck. We've got a foul on the floor. It's Bazalis. Sorry, Collins, who is hit with the foul. Cam Johnson with the lockup, and he's going to be called with the personal. So, Nets still scoreless and don't look like scoring in this fourth quarter so far. It's been the way the game's gone. Every single time there's a Nets lead, the Bulls are able to close the gap pretty quickly. Tyrese Martin will take off the warm-up and return to the game. The 9:21 mark. Russell, I think, is going to the bench. So 5 on the floor for the Nets right now. Claxton, Watford, Johnson, Thomas, and Martin now back out there. Jones, the kick out. Phillips is open top of the key. That one misfired. Nets get the rebound. Cam Thomas, Claxton in the middle. Martin, pump fake, sidestepping 3. Sits on the rim a couple of times. It bounced on there, but out, and the Bulls get the board. Jones down the middle, goes downhill, the kick out to White. Tries to create separation and does so successfully. He gets the bounce. It's down to a 1-point game, and the Nets are still yet to score in the quarter. So Cam's just, they got to give him the rock, and he's got to start facilitating. still yet to have a damaging pass in this second half. Claxton, body bump. Beautiful kick out to Martin. He was open for the corner splash. And he's got another one. He's got 19 in the game. Coby White hit with another personal, which the referees have loved to call in this final quarter. The Bulls will be in the bonus in no time. Claxton, a beautiful feed. Assist number 5. So that's a huge bucket by Tyrese Martin. Took nearly 4 minutes for us to get a bucket. We've now got Zaire Williams back out on the floor, replacing Watford, who will take a seat on the bench. Collins, bounce pass out. There's another foul. Oh my God. That's got to be our last foul to give for sure. Yep. So Herder, straight in. He's going to drive on Thomas. Blocked by CT. Herder gets his own miss. It's off. Oh my God. What an idiot play. We're trying to swat it to a teammate. Instead, we sent it straight to the Bulls, and they had an easy 2. Thomas moves inside, steps back, 2-pointers off. He's got to start passing the ball again, man. White's going to go downhill with almost a bit too quick for his own liking. Thomas, kick out to the corner. Johnson, drive in, layup. And he didn't get a whistle. White turns the corner. Collins goes up and banks it home. 95 all. So Nets get it across the half-court line. CT, I need you to fucking facilitate. There's a foul, and Claxton got taken down by Coby White. Clax rolling to the rim. It was a good pass by Thomas. Damn, we haven't had a point in the paint in this quarter. That was such a point of success in the first half. So they're now forcing us into the perimeter shot. Oh my God, we've just passed it straight to them. Jones with acceleration. Herder rhythm 3. No. And we've got a foul, and it's going the other way. It was on the box out, and it's Williams with the push out on Zaire Williams. So I feel like better oppositions, they hit those threes in transition, because there's a lot of energy in the way the Bulls are playing right now. And usually that helps you hop into your threes a little bit more. It's 95 apiece. The Nets only 3 points in this fourth quarter. I mean, it is so fucking predictable. Claxton to Martin. 7 to shoot. No Thomas on the floor. We've just turned it over again. Williams, the spin move. The drive on Johnson. He lost his footing and still was able to bank it home. They've scored 15 points to our 3. And it's their first lead since the end of the first half. Johnson, the drive, off one leg. There's the score, and we're getting a timeout at the 6:02 mark of the fourth quarter. It's been a very, very tough fourth quarter here for the Nets so far. Only the 5 points to show, only the 2 buckets made. But there's still a fair chunk of time left in the match. And there, of course, is a lot of time to turn things around with the score at 97 apiece. This has been a very, very good showing by Coby White, especially in this fourth quarter. He has led the way for them with sparkling colours. He's got the 29 points on 12 of 22 shooting. The Nets have gotten 19 out of Thomas, 19 out of Martin, but you're looking at the efficiency and, well, Thomas is 2 of 10 in the second half and he has not had an assist. So it's gone from a very good Cam Thomas first half to him not quite having the same game-breaking ability as he was in the first half. And the assist number's gone down tremendously. We had 7 assists, or we have had 7 assists in the second half compared to the 21 in the first half. So that basically headlines us only having scored 32 points in this half, which is just tremendously bad. Cam Johnson with the 16, a good showing as well. We've got a couple players shooting the ball really efficiently, but in this fourth quarter, the free throws have really dried up, especially for both teams. But the turnovers for us have been through the roof. The Bulls have now got 5 players in double figures as well, with Julian Phillips and Pat Will hitting double figures as well. Zach Collins has had some good rebounding moments. He's actually probably been the better big for them out on the floor. He's actually a +9. His bench unit's been brilliant. Julian Phillips is a bit slept on. I think he's been a great role player for them today. But yeah, I'm excited to see what's gonna happen in the rest of the way here. 6:02 to play, and the Nets have struggled only the 5 points in the quarter. This shit happens way too often. It is so predictable. Cannot say I'm really all that surprised at all. But you just think after a while, it's not going to happen. Like, you think it has to happen. It can only happen so many times before you learn. But apparently, that's not the case. So, play resumes. 97 all. 6 minutes to play. Entertaining match here tonight. It's been very high energy. Jones over the shoulder to the corner. Williams goes baseline. Kick out. Herter 3 over Martin. That is good defense. Brilliant closeout. Herter didn't even look all that fluent in that jump shot routine. So the Nets have a chance to retake the lead despite all their struggles here in this fourth quarter. Martin closely guarded by Herter. The hard screen set by Claxton. Martin, turnaround jumper. What the fuck is that? Jones is going to go right at the defender. Johnson! Holy shit, the springs are unreal! Johnson, good handle. Martin steps into one, and that 3 rims out, but Williams ends up with the offensive board. Lob up. Claxton upstairs with the finish. And Johnson could have put the 3 up, but a smart play to recognize that all the numbers had been sucked in, exactly like how that occurred for the Nets defense. Julian Phillips just walking the baseline unattended, and no net seemed remotely aware. Claxton's going to go at Collins and score the layup over him. Had an absolutely brilliant second half. Jones out to Collins. And now Kevin Herter. There's a foul off the ball. And with the Nets in the bonus, or sorry, the Bulls in the bonus, it will be free throws for Trey Jones. That Keon Johnson block is fucking impressive. That is a 6'3" guard off the ball, like on the weak side, fucking like making up a crap ton of ground. Incredible defensive recovery. Keon Johnson with that. Sorry. Tyrese Martin will sit. Keon Johnson remains on. So 5 on the floor for the Nets. Claxton, Williams, Johnson. Cam Thomas returns. Keon Johnson on the floor for Brooklyn. And for the Bulls, as that free throw ties the game, they've got Coby White, Trey Jones, Zach Collins, Julian Phillips, and Kevin Herter. No Bazalis or Vucevic to be seen. Thomas in the middle, probably walked, but they didn't call it. 9 to shoot. Kick out. Williams from way back. Oh, God, that's just an interesting attempt. With 9 on the clock. Bulls can take the lead. White gets rid of Thomas. Can't get the angle. There's no box out and Herter with the tip in. So, 2-point game. 4 minutes to play here in this fourth quarter. Nets go downhill. Johnson pump fake. Lost the ball going up. Got his own miss. He just threw it up. Oh my God. What on earth was that? That is maybe the most wild layup attempt sequence I've ever seen. Johnson lost the ball going up and then managed to do an even worse of a job the second time round. The Nets have only got 9 points to show for their efforts in this fourth quarter compared to the Bulls' 21, and it sees them up by 2. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're new. We'll be back for Nets Boston in a couple of days, so make sure to drop by for that. Alrighty. Alrighty. So the Bulls can extend this to a second possession. White is fouled and he's going to get free throws. Russell's back out on the floor for Brooklyn to close this game out. Clax is pissed. He has no idea how that's a foul. Nets only have 1 timeout left, so if they wanted to challenge that, they would have no timeouts the rest of the way, which would be fairly catastrophic. That one's good for Chicago. Coby White has cracked 30 and gets it out to a nice lead of 4. Very handy for this time of the game. Thomas the lob. That's way too high for Williams. And another turnover disrupted. Jones does not go for the 3. The driving kick to White. Here's the hot hand. It's off. Gets his own miss. And the Bulls are going to take a little bit of sting out of it and let the clock wind down as we enter the final 3 minutes. The drive. 6 the shoot. Jones the scoop. It's up to a 6-point game. So this is just another typical fourth quarter Nets collapse. Johnson back to Thomas. Moves inside. Lob. Claxton the dunk. And Thomas has now got his career high for assists. He's 1 shy of a double-double. The blitz arrives. 2:30 to play. Trey Jones is going to hold. High screen. Drive. Off one leg. It's off. Got to get the board. Collins has been brilliant on the offensive glass. Jones missed the runner. He gets another rebound. Johnson with the knockaway. Russell ends up with the steal. In transition, extra pass. Johnson 3. No! Oh my god. Sorry ass team in the fourth quarter, man. 11 damn points. So Trey Jones is going to hold. High screen. Herder moves inside. Layup is good. And the foul. So the Bulls have just fucking killed us in this fourth quarter. I don't know if it's just down to us having a curse over us the minute it exceeds into the fourth quarter. But this just happens way, way, way too often. So Herder at the free throw line now. Expands it to 7. The Bulls have not led by any more points. So Nets are going to have to move very, very quickly and be efficient with their play. They're taking a lot of time here. Johnson the cross, the driving kick, the extra to Williams, the pump fake, one more. This is good recovery by the Bulls. Russell's 3 is off, and there's a foul under the hoop, and it's remaining on this end. Zach Collins has put in some really good minutes. Some vital rebounds for Chicago down the stretch, which is something that was so good for the Nets in the first half. They were up 9-2 on the offensive glass. But I cannot recall the last time we've had an offensive rebound. Thomas takes it inside, shoots on the right, and gets it to go. So back down to 5. We've got 60 seconds to play here in this fourth quarter. The blitz arrives. Phillips to the man in the middle. Oh my god. D'Lo, what the fuck is he doing? Herder's got another and one make / opportunity. D'Lo's done it both times where he's just looked like an absolute... Like, he's looked absolutely garbage today, to be honest. So 1:05 to play. It's a 7-point game. And D'Lo has been, well, his time has been called. D'Lo is actually a very good tank artist. They brought him back on for Martin, which I think is perfect. Because Martin was having the far better game today. Herder at the line for a free throw. That one's good as well. I think he's been basically flawless. So the lead is 8. It's gone from a 10-point lead at 3/4 time to an 8-point deficit in 1 quarter. Thomas shoots a deep 3 and knocks it down. A little bit late for that. Trey Jones. Oh, there could have been a foul called before the inbounds. Bulls have got to get it across half court here. And they do so. They can let this clock run down to about 35 seconds. They'll need a make. Jones gets by. Kick out. Herder to ice the game. No! Rebound by Trey Jones. He has just had way too many rebounds. Way too many offensive rebounds in the closing minutes. Giddey is pissed. I'm pretty sure he's told Claxton to just, like, spread the arms and trap him, but he's ended up fouling. I mean, that's one way to tank. Trey Jones at the line. He's had a great game. 3rd quarter went missing somewhat, but he's been associated with all their good play today. So Chicago's free throw number is inflated in this 4th quarter. Nets have barely moved in that respect. Nets are going to have to go quickly. There's 30 seconds left and they're down 6. Thomas, screen, 3, off. Board secured by... Well, it's going to be Nets ball. Are the Bulls going to bother challenging this? I don't think they're interested. Williams to inbound. on the baseline. Straight to Thomas. Trapped. Claxton with the left. He's got it. And Thomas is a double-double. 16 seconds left. We're going to get a timeout by Billy Donovan with the lead at 4. They'll exhaust one of their final 2 timeouts. But Cam Thomas has the double-double that I think he probably was looking for. He hasn't had one of those in his entire career. But right now, the 24 points and the 10 assists for Cam Thomas. So that is... I've put him in the player to watch, and he is well and truly delivered with the output today. The efficiency has just gone right out the window after he was 4 of 9 at halftime. But still, you love to see what he's produced today. Claxton, 18 points and 14 rebounds. He's had a massive second half. He was on 4 points and 5 rebounds at the half, but a 14.9 rebound second half is just very, very impressive. And all 5 nets, or sorry, I was going to say all 5 net starters are in double figures, but D'Lo's had a stinker. He was 0 of 6 from deep, 2 of 9 from the field, and he had 6 personal fouls in about 25 minutes. So Tyrese Martin's been a good stopgap solution with the 19 points in limited time, but just haven't had enough points here in this fourth quarter. 32-18 the Bulls have outscored us in the quarter. Our worst shooting quarter and the Bulls' best. So, a little bit disappointing. So 114, 110. The Bulls will inbound after having called that timeout. Herder to the weak side for Phillips. And we're going to foul with 14 seconds left. So pressure's on the second-year player. I think he's missed a free throw or 2 today, so there may be a little window of opportunity here for Brooklyn. They're definitely not going to exhaust the timeout, so expect the Nets to run after these free throws are attempted. A miss would be handy right about now, but so 1 more free throw for Phillips, and that is good, and every free throw is going to count for something really strong down the stretch. Thomas lost the ball, another step back 3, and that's an air ball, and that's going to ice the game. With the Bulls winning by half a dozen, they've had a great fourth quarter, and they end up scoring 34 in the fourth to the Nets' measly 18. Another fall off in the fourth quarter for Brooklyn. I don't think any Nets fan is complaining, given that record needs to be as shit as possible in order for us to get a good pick. But I think there's some really good extractions to take out of the game. As I usually say, when we lose, the best losses are where you see positives from, like, in terms of individual efforts, and as a team collectively, you're in the game for much of it. It keeps me entertained, and moral victories are a big part of it all. So the main one being Cam Thomas scoring, well, not scoring 24, because the efficiency went out the window, but the 10 assists are a career high, and that is something he's probably put a great amount of work in to see the output on the basketball court, and he's produced very well today. Tyrese Martin with 19, another great performance from him. Only just recently having signed a regular contract. Claxton, a great second half. Cam Johnson, a good contribution in the third quarter. And Williams' first half was strong as well, but his team just keeps falling off in the fourth quarter. I mean, another sub 50-point second half, and the Bulls only scored 52 points. But that fourth quarter was all they needed, really. We didn't have enough of a buffer to protect ourselves from another shit fourth quarter. Coby White with a great 31-point showing on great efficiency. Herder with the 18, and Trey Jones with 18 as well, and 3 steals. Very big down the stretch, making his free throws. A lot of the Bulls got busy at the free throw line. Julian Phillips off the bench with 16 and 7 and 5 assists, a team high plus 19 as well. And then Pat Will and Zach Collins with some underrated bench minutes at the center position. Overall, the shooting splits were pretty damn even. The 3-point shooting the same, but the free throws the major difference, with the Bulls having, 8 extra attempts and 10 extra makes. And that was really the only difference in the end, because it wasn't a high turnover game. And look, the Nets relied upon, or had a bit more of a reliance on the points in the paint, which isn't usually the case. Usually it is the 3-point shooting, but in the second half, the 3-point shooting didn't really exist for Brooklyn. We shot it very, very poorly from the outside. And so those points in the paint, they needed to lift. And the main reason, or one of the main reasons why we got to 65 points in the first half, was because we had 12 free throws to go with very good shooting splits, 50-40 shooting splits, sort of. So that's one of the main reasons you see the fall off, because we never have consistency getting to the line. And ultimately, team stats wise, fast break points, we got killed. Points in the paint wasn't actually that bad, 58-54, but the free throws, you put that on top of the points in the paint, and we only had probably 5 or 6 free throws in the second half. And if we did something as simple as replicate the first half efforts, we're probably winding up maybe in an overtime game with the Bulls. I'm not 100% sure. The rebounding gap also was closed down. We were +7 on the offensive glass, but it was +2 by the end of the game. And the assist number, only 11 assists in the second half compared to the 21 in the first half. Cam Thomas contributed greatly in the first half. And so did Nic Claxton as well, but both those guys didn't have huge assist numbers in the second half. And overall, as a team, we didn't actually shoot all that different to the Bulls. Better from 3 and just very marginally worse from the field. But as I said, the free throw number was the main difference in the end. And we were a heavy fouling team in the second half. So ultimately, the Bulls win the season series. And, they do win the season series, not the season sweep, because we won the first game. But another loss in the loss column means that we are now the 13th worst team in the league, or in the Eastern Conference. Only Charlotte and Washington trail us, but we are just that little bit closer to finding ourselves in a pretty good spot, come the end of the season. The Magic did win and the Bucks also won, so both those results don't favor us, but a loss definitely does. So overall, that's going to wrap it up. The Wizards won actually by 4 in the fourth quarter. They outscored the Pistons by 9, which is quite surprising, and overcame 38 by Cade. 21 free throws. That is just incredible. They didn't even have a player score more than 20 points, the Wizards, and they still scored 129. So impressive stuff there, but we're done here. So I hope you enjoyed the stream. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're new. We'll be back a lot earlier on the weekend for Nets versus Celtics. But until then, have a great rest of your day. Stay safe. We'll chat to you soon. Bye for now.